Games with names presented by WynnBET, of course. Bet with the best this football season. Football season's here. Join WynnBET today. Join our team.
June 5, 2008, TD Bank North Garden, Boston, Mass.
With 6 minutes and 49 seconds left in the third quarter, Kobe Bryant hits a shot and puts the Lakers up 4 over the Celtics.
Paul Pierce goes down, clutching his right leg.
This is the wheelchair game.
I like the change in the voices. Hello and welcome to Games with Names presented by WynnBET. I'm Sam Morril.
And I'm Julian Edelman, and we are on the search for the greatest games of all time.
Today's episode, the wheelchair game, Boston versus LA, 2008 NBA Finals, Game 1.
And our guest, the truth, Paul Pierce.
For your thoughts in the games, like what's your gut reaction and memories? You were, I was
at Kent still.
You were at Kent still. You were there. You became friends with these guys later. But were you at any of these games?
I was. I thought I was at this game. I was actually at the next year one. I wasn't at this one.
What do you think when you think of this series? I mean, this is a pretty epic. It's Boston and LA, the most historic NBA rivalry.
Yeah, I mean, I remember getting excited for the whole Boston-LA. I wasn't really in the Boston world yet. I was still like a Bay Area kid in Ohio, but I always remembered this was like the first year of the big three team. They brought over Ray Allen, Paul Pierce was there, and then they got Kevin Garnett. Like this was like the first super team. And
they did it through trades. Like you think about the Miami Heat, LeBron and Bosh signed with the Heat.
Yeah.
They made, this was like Al Jefferson and some other stuff. Jack, you could look up the total package. It was Al Jefferson and stuff for Garnett. And then it was like Jeff Green, Delonte West and something for Ray Allen. I mean, they did it through the front office.
Exactly. But I remember I was always a Ray Allen fan because He Got Game.
Yeah, great movie.
You know,
I saw it in the theaters with my mom, and during the titty scene, she put her hands over my eyes.
Did you give one of these? Did you open her eyes, like her hands?
I thought about it, but like, what am I going to fight with my mom's fingers to see titties? It was like a great movie.
Great movie. One of my favorites. Spike Lee joint. Yeah. Unbelievable. But
Denzel.
Denzel
crushes it.
Denzel is one of my favorites.
Who could hoop, apparently. I mean, I think in the original screenplay, something I read once was that it was supposed to be 11-0 in the one-on-one game, Jesus Shuttlesworth versus Denzel. And then Spike Lee was like, shit, Denzel's kind of good. So they made it like 11-3 or something. They had to give him some respect.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, it's Denzel. Yeah. He's one of the GOATs.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, this is just like a cool ass game series because it just has the tradition of basketball. Even if you weren't a big basketball person, you know about the Celtics and the Lakers. So I was just excited to see it.
I mean, you think of the names going through the years. It's like Wilt versus Bill Russell, Magic versus Bird, Kareem versus Parrish. Now you have a new era, Kobe versus Pierce, Garnett, Allen, all these guys. I mean, there's so many big names in this series. Paul Gasol, Lamar Odom. Loved him.
This was pre-Kardashian?
We all have to look that up. He was still good, so I'm going to guess it was pre-Kardashian.
It was pre-Kardashian, yeah.
There's something about that Kardashian vagina that just sucks the power out of star athletes. I don't know what it is.
I've never been there. I don't know. But let's go back to June 2008. On this day, one of my favorite TV shows became a movie, and it became the #1 movie.
What was that?
Sex and the City.
Are you a Sex and the City head?
Nah, but I would watch it.
It's fun.
I loved it. I mean, that made me want to live in New York. Got to live in New York. Anytime I walked around here, I was like, this is like Sex and the City.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? So
this is not what I expected from Julian Edelman, and I love it.
Love Sex and the City.
It's a good show.
I mean, we've already established I love rom-coms and Sex and the City.
True.
Now. So like I like that stuff.
If I'm on the road and Sex and the City comes on like TBS or something, I'm pumped. I'm secretly pumped. But I met the actress Kristen Davis who plays Charlotte when I was in like maybe 8th grade. I walked into a diner with my friends. We were in our JV basketball uniforms. And I said, I know you from Sex and the City. And she goes, you're too young to watch that show. And I said, oh, yeah? Then how come I know your husband can't get hard? Got a huge laugh in the diner. She gave me like a, all right. And, you know.
And that's when when you first thought, like, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian?
No, probably. I think
Did she giggle?
She gave me a giggle. She was like, all right. She was
Did
like,
you think you had a shot because you made her laugh?
I was in 8th grade, so probably not. But, you know, you best believe that was for the spank bank later. You're like, I got to laugh at a Christian day. I knew that was the best I get. Hey, you know, 8th grade.
That's, I mean, you miss all the shots you don't take, buddy.
I should have gone for it, dude.
You miss all the shots you don't take.
We had a moment. What if 13-year-old me just like went for it and she was like, please leave me alone.
It kind of reminds me, I don't know why. Remember Blank Check? Did we already talk about this?
I remember the movie a little. I saw it as a kid.
Yeah. Blank Check. The guy, like little Macintosh kid, was hitting on the hot cop, undercover cop. And I always thought he had a shot.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I used to love that lady. She was so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, what actress was that? Who was she?
She was in a couple. But also, you got Jack?
Was that Karen Duffy?
It could have been Karen Duffy.
Yeah.
And she had short hair.
Yeah.
She was real cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was like, had that little cool personality where like she was always comforting, and I don't know. I was in love with her.
That was definitely like, I always had adult crushes as a kid.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And I also, Jack, who are your guys? Who are your
my
guys? Well, obviously Leo. No.
Who were your crushes when you were like a kid? What actresses?
Who was the figure skater? I almost said finger skater.
He got ahead of the fantasy in that one.
No, not Nancy Kerrigan.
Tanya Harding?
Tara Lipinski? Is that one?
Yeah.
I don't know why she was like our age. I was in 8th grade. I remember I loved her.
Yeah.
I think.
Tara, if you're listening, check how small this shirt is, and it works. He can pull it off because he's shredded.
Yeah. Let's get on this shirt. Okay. I needed to get something Boston-y. Send out our other Sam 2, to go out and get me some. He gets me a size medium, so I'm over here getting choked out right now wearing this shirt.
But it looks good. You look good.
Thanks.
You look like you could be chopping some lumber in the jean shorts. You look shredded, dude.
Hey, just trying to push along, buddy.
Give me another Julian Edelman childhood crush.
I loved Cameron Diaz in The Mask.
Oh my God.
When I was a kid.
Classic.
Loved her.
That was her first movie.
First movie. I loved her. Who were your crushes? So I can think about mine too.
Denise Richards for sure. I remember I did someone's show once, and he goes, "Who are your crushes?" And I said Denise Richards, Jennifer Love Hewitt, and then we went to break, and he goes, "Fuck them both." I won't say who it was, but I was like, wow. He's like, "I want you to keep going." I was like, I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, it was funny. I loved Mariah Carey.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
And then I got to meet her. I went backstage at a concert when I was like in 8th grade, and I was like literally up to her breast, like in height. And I remember taking this picture. And
she's that tall?
No, I was just that small. I was a little kid. I was like a little ass kid.
Oh, okay.
I was like 8th grade, like 4'11", 4'8" or something, and got to meet her, and it was like I was like so starstruck. I was like a little boy just blushing, like, "Hey Mariah, how are you?"
Would you still hit it?
I mean, Lollipop was the number one.
You know what? I think that's a yes. Mariah, come on Games with Names.
Get out of here. Let's keep it going.
All right, let's keep it going. Sorry, I'm taking us down a terrible direction here. This week in sports,
How old is she?
How old is she? How old is Mariah Carey, Jack? Get on. Old enough to know the game, young enough to still care. I'd say. I'd say it's worth a shot.
She's got to be in her 50s.
She's 53.
Yeah,
but she's a hot 53. I bet.
I bet you she's still very beautiful, very attracted.
So the Red Wings this week in sports beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 4-2 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Sorry, Kyler. The Big Brown failed to capture the Triple Crown after coming in dead last at the Beaumont Stakes.
The Belmont
Stakes. I'm
They're
stupid.
right here, isn't it? The Belmont's right here.
I'm not a horse guy.
You're not? I've been to the Belmont. It's fun.
Yeah? I've been, but it's just not my thing.
It's the longer race, right? That's the longest one, Jack. Isn't that? I think that's the longest race out of the Triple Crown. So it's always hard to get that last one because it's like a sprint. Like, I don't know.
Mile and a half.
Mile and a half. Longest one, I believe. I don't know. What are the ridiculous trends of this time in life? 2008.
BlackBerry messaging. Remember that?
EBM. Yeah, I remember it, but I had a Razor.
You were a Razor guy?
I was a Razor kid.
You threw it out the years with the Patriots. It's a beer joke.
Yeah, yes, I realized that. I realized that. Are you a stand-up comedian?
No.
Oh.
No, I quit.
Yeah, me too.
I quit after Kristen Davis didn't have sex with me when I was a child. Razors were cool. Those were cool. You know what's cool about the Razors is they were like a power phone. It was back in the day when you got off a call, you'd be like, all right, bye.
Yep.
You didn't even have to say bye. You could just do this.
You just flip it.
That's a power move.
It is a power move, and it looks sleek. You know, I had the black one. Like that was like the cool one, and then the iPhone came out probably this year or the next year. When was the iPhone? 2007? 5?
June 29th, 2007.
2007.
Are Blackberries even still around?
Yeah, my agent still has one.
Really?
Don Yee.
A Blackberry?
He still has Blackberry.
When's the last time you saw a Blackberry?
It's been a while, but people loved it.
Yeah,
Everyone loved their BlackBerry. Like business people love their BlackBerry.
Yeah, why do they love them so much? The messaging?
I think it was the typing for
the typing
emails.
was actually, you know what? Because that's back in the day when it was hard. You had a Razor. That took like 20 minutes to send a fucking text.
Hi, I love you.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, it was a while.
No, I was actually longer than that.
You couldn't sext back in those days. It would take too long.
No.
Especially if you're a premature ejaculator.
Yeah, that, and then also like it would take you like 32 minutes to upload a JPEG.
That's true. And they were bad quality.
Terrible.
If you had like a titty pic, you're like, I don't even know if that's you. You look like the woman from The Ring. I don't know who the hell this is. But 2008, a lot of election stuff that summer. Sarah Palin said she could see Russia from her house. Shout out Glenn Rice, who we have on the wall, who apparently had sex with her.
Did he?
That's Jack. You might have to get on this. I believe Glenn
they went
Rice.
to the same college or something. I heard.
I think that's the thing.
That's
nailing Palin.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's big.
Big
if true.
What did she didn't become the vice president though, right?
No. She
lost that one.
John McCain, I'm sure, did not like her. I think he had a lot of momentum, and then he brought her on board, and she said a lot of dumb shit.
Politics.
Yeah, dude.
Never talk politics.
No politics.
Absolutely
no
not.
politics on this show. What were you doing in 2008? You were Kent State.
Kent State was my last year.
Yeah.
It was my last year at Kent State. I was actually looking at firehouses. I was going to go be a fireman if the draft didn't work.
Wow.
I went to Cincinnati, Ohio, met with a firehouse chief, and kind of shadowed him.
Nice.
And that's what I was doing.
Firemen are brave as hell, man.
Yeah, I thought it was just kind of cool.
It's badass. My friend's husband's a fire captain. He's a badass. I love it.
I just wanted to like get on that big old truck.
You would have looked cool as shit on that truck, dude.
Just yoked up.
You would have been so yoked.
Throwing the hose over your shoulder. What were you doing?
I was in college. I was handing out flyers to get on stage in New York City. I was handing out flyers in the street. I was doing a lot of like, hey, live comedy. You guys want to see some live comedy? And then sometimes they would, then I'd go on some of those shows. So then I'd be like, great lineup tonight. And then those people would be in the crowd and they'd be like, you're on the show? Fuck you. So they were furious.
And now look at you.
Now look at me.
Look at you.
I'm sitting next to Super Bowl MVP Julian Edelman.
I'm sitting next to future Netflix special Sam Morril.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, Jesus criminy. Look at just like that. Life changes.
Life comes to you fast, man. This 2008 Celtics team
sounds like my sex life. Coming fast.
Yes. Applause in the room.
I got an applause. Yomi's been coaching me up because we're new at this. I'm new at this. I don't have any fucking podcasting experience.
But you're doing great.
No, but yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're crushing it, dude.
But you gotta take everyone's opinion and coaching, and I'm just trying to improve day to day.
Dude.
I gotta stop with the Patriot stuff. I mean, Jesus
No.
Christ.
Are you kidding me?
So patrioty. Like, hey, let's improve today. Let's do good here. We'll
Dude,
figure it out.
That attitude is what's going to take you to the top of the iTunes charts as well as
Spotify.
Spotify. Let's take over, dude.
iTunes, Spotify.
The Celtics this year were 66-16, first in the East. I mean, they were on fire, coached by Doc Rivers.
Doc talk to us one. He came and talked to our team. Love Doc.
Doc's a legend.
We'd always have like legendary people or head coaches or business leaders, or they would come and speak to the whole team in like the off season. Doc gave an unbelievable presentation to us, talked about winning and what he believes in. And actually, speaking of this, Kobe came and spoke to us too.
Really?
Which was honestly one of the most interesting humans I've ever heard in that climate. You know what I mean? All these guys.
What did he say to you guys?
You could tell through the way he prepared, the way he read a lot of books. He knew like a bunch of languages.
Fluent in 6 languages,
Yeah.
I think. I don't know, fluent. Knew 6 languages.
He was so interesting.
Yeah.
And like his attention to detail and his question asking, like he'd ask us questions so then he could take it to where he was going next in whatever. He wasn't playing anymore, but I mean, you could just tell that guy was a fierce fucking winner. You know, like
Wow.
just eye of the tiger. He'll fucking rip your heart out and like would do it over and over and over and over again just to show you you're not better than him. Like that's the kind of, and it like you felt that when he spoke.
Yeah.
You know, that was one of the coolest things. One of the coolest people that came and talked to us before a season. But let's get back. They drafted Kendrick Perkins, 27th overall. Perk, he's on ESPN.
Great pick. He really filled out the middle. He was a tough guy. KG and Perkins next to each other were tough as nails. By the way, assistant coach on this team, the defensive mastermind, my man, Coach Tibbs. Tom Thibodeau. KG and Ray Allen, they got this year. Best defensive rating in the league. KG was easily the defensive player of the year, one of the best ever. And the names on this team, you know them: Pierce, Ray Allen, Garnett, Rondo, Perkins, Eddie House, James Posey.
And the Lakers. Then we go to the Lakers. Record was 57-25. They finished first in the Western Conference, obviously. Coached by the Phil Jackson, who's like the mind massager of people that we all have heard over the years. He's kind of like a. Nah, I would say Pop's more like Bill. Or who's Bill?
I think Bill is closer to Pop. I think Popovich.
Yeah.
I think the Spurs and the Patriots have some like cultural similarities.
Yeah, boring.
Boring, all
Not
for
flashy.
one. Yeah.
Just
But
win.
Amazing systems, and
Great
obviously
system.
Pop and Belichick are two of the best ever.
But I always liked seeing like the background things on Phil, how he would always take like the out of the box approach to everything. Like, hey guys, let's like do yoga today and like work on our mental being. You know,
He'd get you like weird books.
Yes.
And they were always books that were like, this is about a Navajo tribe. And they'd be like, can we just fucking play the game? What are you doing? But I liked that Phil was like this odd dude. He was, very zen. And this was weird because I remember a few years prior, so he left the Lakers after the three-peat.
Yeah.
Then he comes back. He also trashed Kobe in his book.
Yeah.
And then was like, all right, I'm back now. And you're like, what the hell? You just trashed Kobe in your book. But they became good again, clearly. A master at managing egos.
That's what you would say, and winning heals everything. So
Yeah, of course. I mean, the Jordan Pippen teams with Rodman, the Shaq and Kobe, and then the next step was Kobe, Gasol, Bynum, a lot of names on this.
It's pretty
team.
crazy that the only place Phil couldn't win in is New York.
He won championships here as a player.
Yeah, as a player, but like when you get into the coaching and like the upper division department,
It was bad luck.
You can't even bring in the best coach of the history of the game to get you.
Well, he was in the front office.
Front office, all right.
He was sleeping at the practices. You'd see him on ESPN, and he'd just be like asleep at a practice. I'm like, you got him on camera sleeping? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I always will love Action Jackson, Phil Jackson, the legend. But yeah, he was not the right pick for
I think he was kind of half in on that job.
Half in, got paid big money.
Yeah, big money. All right, I'm going to be in Florida. Hit me up when you need me.
So this game was Lakers were the number 1 seed in the West. Celtics were the number 1 in the East. The Celtics won this 4-2 in 6 games.
Oof.
And this was a classic game. It really, Pierce goes out in the wheeled. He's carried off. It was so dramatic. I was like, is this
I thought he was getting helicoptered off.
Oh my God, I thought I was watching Platoon. This is crazy.
We lost a lot of good men out there, and Paul Pierce was one of them after I saw this.
But he comes back in the wheelchair. It was very, very dramatic. Or he leaves in the wheelchair. He comes back walking, obviously. Sprinting. And they're cheering like crazy in Boston.
Going hard.
And he hits some huge buckets. Ray Allen hits some huge buckets.
They were down, right? They were down 4. Paul Pierce comes back.
Momentum.
I think there's a lot of speculation.
Did he poop his pants?
Did he shit his pants?
That's what I know people are going like, what are you talking about? There's talk that he might have pooped his pants.
But then I was looking at every angle when they were carrying him off and stuff. That would have been a hell of a play job. Job.
He could have been wearing tight undies though, and they could have caught it in. Maybe
white,
but maybe it ducked. Maybe a turd ducked out, and it was captured by the pants, and it didn't leak out.
Nah, I'm telling you from experience, as a professional athlete, you drink so many electrolytes, like to keep the fluids in.
Sure.
That you're getting Hershey squirts. You're not
You're not getting
full. You're not getting full just turds that are fucking like thick, healthy turds. You're getting a little squirty action.
Have you ever pooped your pants?
No, I have not pooped my pants. I have not. Not in a game. Not in a game. I may have sharted once. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where?
I don't know.
I'll give you a poop a pants story if you can't come. I got one.
What do you got?
First grade, school bus, midtown traffic. Couldn't hold it in. Had to go.
You shit your pants.
I shit my pants on the school bus, and I remember I just said I can't last any longer, and I just went. And I remember one kid go, "There's no way he really went." And another kid touched my butt, and he goes, "He's not lying." It was brutal.
If I was there, I would have shit my pants too, just so people would make fun of you.
You would have Billy Madison me?
I would have Billy Madison you.
Pooping your pants is cool. They're like, no. They would have been like, it's not. It's not. Peeing is okay, but
it's too messy. Too messy.
Yeah.
The things we remember. We remember Paul Pierce in that wheelchair.
The big 3, the Lakers, Celtics, rivalry renewed. And of course, the game 6, KG yelling out, anything is possible. Incredible. Things we may have forgotten. The Celtics tried to lure Reggie Miller out of retirement to join this team. They did have some OG vets. They had Eddie House, Scott Pollard, Sam Cassell.
Shout out my
PJ
guy.
Brown, too.
Yeah,
Lakers added Paul Gasol midseason. Paul Gasol was Hall of Famer, phenomenal player. Is he in the Hall of Fame yet? He will be if he's not.
Marc Gasol was part of the trade for Pau?
Yeah, but they didn't know. I don't think they knew it was going to be Mark yet. I think it was a pick that turned out to be Mark.
See, this guy knows basketball.
Is it savage to be traded for your brother? I'm pretty sure Doc traded his son. Didn't he trade his son out of...
Yeah.
That's some Succession level shit. You trade your own son, and then you better win the championship if you trade your son.
I think my dad could trade me.
Really?
Yeah. If I wasn't producing...
My biological father released me. Sorry
to hear that.
No, it worked out great. It worked out great. I have a great dad, so it worked out great for me.
What do you got, Jack?
Yeah, Doc Rivers traded Austin Rivers from the Clippers to the Wizards in 2018.
Some cold-blooded shit.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. What's best for the team, okay?
Son, you're dead weight. You're going to the Wizards. The gaming corner presented by WynnBET. So the prop bet, how many times can we get Paul to mention Brian Scalabrine? That's a good one. What do you think, 2?
That's tough.
He was like 12th man on that team, but Scalabrine was fun as hell. We all love the videos of him fucking up. Dudes who say they could beat him one-on-one and then seeing how good an NBA player is and Scal just fucking them up.
Yeah, he's always around Boston.
Do you think 2 is a good number?
Yeah, we could do. I think he'll probably call him like a different nickname, like Scal.
That's fine, yeah. If we can get him to mention him twice, that's good.
How many times can Julian say, ain't that the truth?
Can we go 3 on that? What do you think? 3, 4, 4, 5? 25?
2.5?
2.5, all right. I think he said 25. I'm like, man, this is going to be a bad interview.
Ain't that the truth?
At a certain point, you just go, can you stop saying that?
Ain't that the truth?
Before we hear from our guest, Paul Pierce, let's take a quick break. Ready to win money and boost your odds? WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New York, Jersey, Tennessee, and Virginia.
WynnBET is bringing the excitement of the Wynn Las Vegas to online sports betting and casino play. Exclusive rewards right at your fingertips. Get on all your favorite teams, players, and sports from the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, golf, MMA, WNBA, college football, and more.
Sign up today and use promo code XGWN, and after placing your first $100 wager, you will receive $100 to bet with. Another $10 casino bonus for those in New Jersey and Michigan, because those are difficult places to live. Again, your promo code is XGWN.
Terms and conditions at www.wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older to participate. And we're here on Games with Names presented by WynnBET, and we're joined by my partner in crime. Literally, figuratively, in every kind of way you can think. Paul Pierce, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on.
What's up, my boy?
What's going on? How you been?
Man, I'm just out here lounging in this good California 80-degree weather, son.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I miss it already. It's 50 and rainy here in New York. 50 and rainy.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
Come on.
It
no
wasn't,
New York slander on this pod.
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad.
We can't have two Boston sports legends and you have you trash in New York on this podcast. Come on.
As you can see, he's a New York guy.
We always go trash New York.
Exactly.
You did enough to me as a Knicks fan, Paul. Come on. I mean, Boston legend, 10-time All-Star, NBA champ, Finals MVP.
Most importantly, born in the Bay.
Yeah.
You a Bay baby.
Well, yeah, I'm a Bay kid.
I am too. Grew up in Inglewood, went to Kansas, Rookie of the Year in 98, 10-time All-Star,
Yeah.
NBA champion, Finals MVP. His number's hanging in the rafters at the Garden. They call him the Truth.
Is that the best nickname in the NBA, you think, Paul?
I think it is.
It's got to be up there. There's some good ones, though.
The answer is pretty good.
The Answer, Magic,
Yeah.
Larry Legend. But look, it's not easy to get a nickname. You know, everybody don't got one.
If you got a nickname, that means you're doing something right. I had to give myself a nickname. They call me the Squirrel because I like squirrels.
Y'all crazy.
We got Paul. So you guys are literally partners in crime, which you glossed over, but you did both get arrested together, right?
Nah, well, technically it was a citizen citation arrest. I mean, you can't even hood slide anymore. Starsky and hood slide. I mean, Paul was right there. This is how it all went. Paul, do you remember it?
I'm going to tell you this. That was the weakest hood slide ever. You didn't even make it all off. I was like, you like slid and then stopped in the middle. I was like, oh, no.
It was my jeans. There was no slide. There was too much friction. I couldn't just, like, in the movies, they clearly wax those cars.
Yeah.
And they're wearing, like, some kind of nylon pant. Me, wearing straight jeans, go over there, and I kind of stuck. Homeboy gets out of car, waves down a cop. They start hemming me up. Paul's over there. Paul had my back, though. Paul had my back. He's like, nah, man, hey, get off. He didn't do shit. He didn't do shit.
Nah, look, first of all, it was like, all right, we were stuck in a restaurant remember it was a stick up or something. It was a robbery.
Yeah.
And it was like, we were stuck in a restaurant, couldn't leave. And there were already like 25 cops like right there anyway.
Were the cops kind of pumped to meet both of you?
It was like, I thought it was nothing though. I was just like, but if you had to land at the slide, it wouldn't have been nothing. But since you skid and stopped, it was a thing.
That's probably exactly what it was. But what he's failing to tell you is we were on our way to leave. and we couldn't leave the place for 2.5 hours. So what did we do? We just drank tequila all night long. We get done, right? We think we get out of it scot-free. We go back to the house. We're over here like it's not on TMZ. It's not out. We're having the best night of our life. We go out and we're playing one-on-one basketball at Soho House. People are over here like, what's going on? We're having the times of our life. I wake up in the morning to 300 text messages from my agent, this, that. It was
Welcome to the club. I had my one internet moment. Welcome to the club.
Hey, I started the club.
I feel like Paul versus you in basketball is not a fair matchup.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Not a good matchup.
It was bad.
Oh, right. Out about that. We're like in the kitchen doing moves on each other or something. Remember that?
We were doing that at Soho, remember? Like in the middle of the place. Dunking on like the chandeliers and stuff. People are sitting here like, is that Paul Pierce and Julian Edelman playing basketball without a basketball in a restaurant?
So Paul, we want to talk to you, man. This is like the year the big three came together. This was kind of like, in my lifetime, kind of the first super team. Like people talk about the Celtics in the 60s being a super team, but this was like, you were a franchise guy. KG was a franchise guy. Ray was a franchise guy. You're all kind of around the same age-ish, right? Like around 30-ish. We all kind of, as a Knicks fan, I hated the Celtics, but I respected all you so much for just carrying franchises and being loyal to those franchises. Like, these were trades. These weren't free agency things. We're like, how jacked up were you to go from the worst team in the league to being like, oh shit, we have championship hopes?
Man, that was an interesting summer because we had the worst record and it was just like my career was in limbo. It was like, am I going to get traded? What are we going to do? We up for the number one pick, and the number one pick, as you all know, should have been Durant, but it was Grant Oden. And I was just like, the Celtics are headed in a different direction. I'm in like my 8th or 9th year and in the middle of a rebuild, and, things just, we didn't get the first pick. Then the trade was made for Ray. Then we traded for Kevin, and it was just like, whoa. It happened so fast that it was just like, it was like going from a Corolla to a Ferrari overnight.
I like those.
Unless Corolla wants to sponsor this, in which case your cars are awesome as well. But no, dude, I remember watching that being like, oh, the Celtics are going to win. I remember just thinking like, I know when stars come together, but like you guys fit well together. Like when LeBron and Wade were together,
dogs. Every one of them were dogs.
But when LeBron and Wade go together, like they both kind of are like, they do kind of similar things, Whereas like Ray's just this great shooter. You're this great scorer. KG is an anchor who can score. Like you guys all kind of fit different needs.
Right. That's why it was like the perfect storm is what we call it. We call it the perfect storm. We had other nicknames that people didn't know about. We were not only the big three, we were called the Holy Trinity. We were called the perfect storm. So these are nicknames that went under the rug, but everybody just chose to use the big three.
The Holy Trinity. Can you explain that to two Jewish people, please?
Right there.
Oh, thank you.
It's half a Star of David, basically.
Okay, it's half a star. I get it.
But so, I mean, that team was stacked, and then you have role players added, guys who are like killers, like
little young Rondo,
who's a killer. James Posey, Eddie House,
Big Baby, Tony Allen.
People forget. Damn, he was another one.
Leon Poe. If we had had a team fight with anybody in the league, Perkins, we would have beat everybody up.
See, dogs, and that's a perfect team for Boston. Just a tough town. That doesn't need to be like bright lights. Broadway shows. Just give us like a Celtics game, a Patriots game, a Bruins game. Go get a hot dog at a Sox game. It's just different in Boston.
Yeah, it's just different, man. I was just talking about somebody the other day. I need to go to a Sox game and give me one of those Italian sausages right there, right outside the arena.
Dude, that's what I miss already so much. Just being around the city. It was a dope city. How do you transform though? born in the Bay, grew up in LA, huge Lakers fan as a kid, and then you become probably one of the biggest pieces of one of the Boston Celtics. Like you are in the rafters. You are a GOAT of the Celtics. When you first got there, what were you feeling like? Were you mixed emotioned on this?
Man, it was real mixed emotions because for one, I didn't even work out for the Celtics. It was just like I thought I was going to be in the top 5. Celtics wasn't even on my radar. But then it was just like they picked me, and I was just like, man, it's hard. You know, you happy to get drafted. So you in the draft room, and you like, okay, I'm about to be one of the top picks, and you're like, you're happy wherever you go. But for me, when I got picked by the Celtics, it was like happy to get drafted, but then it was just like, huh? It was like almost like that fake smile. It was like what just happened kind of moment. But because it was just like, damn, I'm really gonna find out who my friends are, really. Who gonna really come to the game and wear that Celtic jersey, being that all my friends are from LA. You know, who gonna ride or die with your boy PP? So that's when I really found out who my true friends was.
Did you lose a lot of those friends? Or did you have some day ones?
And I invited one of my boys to the Laker game, right?
He rolled up in a Kobe jersey?
Man, he came in a Kobe jersey. I could not believe that.
That's rough.
I put him right in the front row. Like, what? Oh, man, come on, man.
What are we doing?
That's messed up.
Hey,
oh, man, I never gave him any more tickets to a game.
You can't. He's gone. He's banned. Now, what's up with, obviously Kobe? You got any crazy competitive stories of that series against him?
Man, Kobe is, I always like to call certain people just handmade. He was different. It was just like, you couldn't shake him. You couldn't rattle him. If you notice in that series, and they got pictures of this, it's the times me, Rondo Per getting his face, talking shit to him. And like, he just looking like, with this real stoic look, like, who are y'all? Like, what have y'all done? Like, and it was just like, dude, you cannot get him out of this game. But then, like, being away from him, away from the game of basketball, where I had a chance to be around him quite a few times. He's a total different person. And him and Kevin are similar because you look at Kevin and people are intimidated by him, and you see this guy who's sweating, cursing, and competitive. But then off the court, man, it was some of the nicest people you want to be around. And it's just like, it's amazing how they flip the switch from the basketball person to this, the walk around, dad.
In between the lines, and those are the greats. Those kind of guys had to create stories in their head or manipulate their mind to get the best kind of play. I get that. That's how Tom is. Tom, like, dude, you don't have to be mad at the kid in 8th grade that started over you in basketball. I think you're doing all right.
But you do.
But he is still mad about it. And he still will probably try to fight this guy or compete against this guy.
Did you see Jordan's Hall of Fame speech? He's like still mad at dudes where you're like, you're Michael Jordan. You did okay. But it's what fuels the greats, I think, is like you hold on to shit.
If you know similarities in the two, and those are the greats of the Mount Rushmore of sports, and they share a lot of the same characteristics.
They do.
They share a lot of the same characteristics to women I date. They can't get over things. They're no. But so this, I have to say, as a hoops fan, just as someone who loves and respects basketball players, I'm happy that it seems like you guys patched stuff up with Ray Allen. That was just, it bummed me out as a sports fan because
left us, bro.
Yeah,
he left us.
It was a tough breakup, but as we all know, time heals wounds, and I'm happy that he was able to attend KG's retirement ceremony, and we can do it in front of a national crowd, and they can see that the beef is over. We did something special together, and we'll always be family. But you know what I love about Boston sports? Like me and L and Big Poppy is. Just like when you play in Boston, it's like we family because we all go to each other games. We all support each other. I don't really see that in other cities. I think, especially LA, people go to the games to be seen. It was just like, if I spot one of them out, I'm like, what's up? It's like we've known each other for years. And it's like something about the Boston sports family. It's like one big family.
For example, like me and Paul knew of each other. We probably saw each other at events and stuff, but it wasn't until I got arrested when we bonded. That was when we really bonded.
Recreate this in Boston because no Boston cop is going to touch either of you. So
No.
that's how you recreate it.
You can't.
But so let's shift to this game. Game one, we know it as the wheelchair game. We know it as Paul leaving the game. Incredible. There's a lot of stories.
Why are you smiling, Paul?
Maybe you might have heard some of the rumors, Paul.
Why are you smiling, Paul?
It was an iconic moment, So, people going to have their various stories about it. And that's fine. People are going to create their own narrative.
Do you think the pooping the pants rumor helps or hurts the mythos of the series?
I mean, they trying to put a black mark on it. Everybody knows that it can happen. Come on.
So I looked at every TV angle that you possibly could. You guys were wearing the white unis, okay? And as a professional athlete, I know we have to ingest so many electrolytes that when you shit, there's going to be some squirting. So you would have saw a squirt mark. He did not shit his fucking pants, guys.
No, listen,
Paul didn't shit his pants. He hurt his knee, and then he miraculously came out and fucking scored and won the game for him.
We're gonna watch this like the JFK tapes to make sure this didn't happen, but no.
But why would I roll around in it on the ground if I did? Like, who does that? Wouldn't that be kind of disgusting?
Yeah, it would.
I'm glad that we're clearing this up, okay? This is coming from him, guys. He would not lie to me.
No, the only shit that I did was on the Lakers.
Exactly.
You come back and you guys are down 4, right? So you come back in the game down 4. What are you thinking?
Man, I'm just feeling the energy from the crowd. I get to the back. I put the knee brace on. My knee is kind of loose. And the diagnosis of the injury was a strained meniscus, so we can clear it up, which it was for the whole series. And, people do that in sports, but then you can still play on it.
Especially adrenaline.
Yeah, I mean, it's the finals. I'm like, I might not ever get this opportunity again. I'm feeding off the crowd. And I'm like, I need to get back in this game because if you notice, I didn't even sit down when I came back. I went like straight to the scores table to check right back in. And the adrenaline was there. And I was just like, I got to be out here. And, then Rondo got me going. We got the ball. We pushing it on the break. I'm open from 3. I was just like, I'm going to let it ride. And then the momentum just shifted. And that was an amazing feeling because, they were a tough team. When you got Kobe Bryant, an all-time great, one of the greatest to ever do it on one side, and everybody knows when you got a player that caliber, anything can happen. And we're in Boston, so we can't lose at home, man. Come on.
To the Lakers, and they had, Gasol, Odom. This is a tough LA team that you're going against. Do you think this shifted the momentum for the whole series? Like you coming in, it seemed like you guys had so much momentum after that.
Well, yeah, because like when I rewatch it, it's like if I'm hurt and I'm out for the series, you got to understand when I went down, the air out of the building left. So it's like, dang, if Paul Pierce is done for the series or out for any amount of time, the chances of us beating the Lakers goes down. And so when I come back, that momentum to be like, oh, he's out there, he's playing, he's not injured. We got him. We back forming Voltron. Man, it gave the city and the fans so much of a lift to know that I was going to be back and I was out there that it just carried over for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, Paul, we have a note here that you refer to yourself as the Rodney Dangerfield of basketball. Did this put some respect on your name after this?
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, man. Just no respect, and that's all good. Hey, everybody can't wear, some of us got to wear the black hat, and I'm fine with that,
Hey, Paul, haters are going to hate. Players are going to play. Like Taylor Swift said, you just got to shake it off.
Shake it off. You know it.
Man,
I love y'all setup in there, man. What y'all got? What's on that wall right there?
we got everything. We need a picture of you. If you send a signed jersey, we'll fucking put you right up here.
Look, we need to put that picture of me, you, and the Dola from that night.
Jack, Sam, can we get that done? We are definitely going to put that up there.
I love it.
Do you remember that though? We thought we got away scot-free. No one knew it.
What was the big ticket like as a motivator? I just as a spectator, his energy just seemed insane. He just seemed like a dude I would want to go to war with. Was he just amazing in huddles?
I mean, not only huddles, but I'm talking about practice. Like when you come to practice, I know all the young guys. If KG walk into the locker room, he better not see none of the young guys sitting down at their locker. They better be in the weight room. They better be either in the training room or on the court getting some pre-practice shots up. You know what I'm saying? He didn't allow for no lollygagging. And it was just like, man, let me tell you this one story. So this is preseason. The season haven't started. So KG, everybody's in town. Like September, we all playing pickup games, and one of the rookie didn't have his shoes. So he looking around, he grabbed a pair of KG shoes, right? And he balled in them for the pickup game. So KG gets to the gym, he like, where are my shoes at? And I'm looking like, oh, hell no, the rookie didn't put them back. Oh, this is going to be bad. Man, let me tell you, that was the worst year for this guy. And then I think he eventually got traded. So, I mean, he was on you don't want to be on KG bad side. Don't grab somebody else's shoes, because there's a lot of guys wear the same size, but don't grab KG shoes and you come in looking for them and you got them on. Like, come on, man.
Isn't this the National Basketball Association? Don't we have like shoes galore in our locker rooms?
That's what I'm saying. This rookie, I don't know what he thought. He just was like, I'm going to grab KG shoes. Like, anybody, KGs? Like, dude,
that's
come
like
on, man.
Basically like taking Debo's chain. Just ganking chain, saying, nah, that's not going to happen. I remember we were together and he FaceTimed KG. And I can't really, I don't remember what he said, but I just remember the feelings I had. I wanted to run through the fucking phone. Yeah. He motivated me where I was like, dude, let's go do something right now. Like, let's go I want to play basketball. I don't even know how to play basketball, but I'll fucking go play with this guy.
No, it's on the record. Taking KG shoes is the equivalent of killing John Wick's dog. That's basically where we're at.
Straight up. You just don't do it.
Absolutely not.
So this series, like when you win this series, because we're talking about this game, but it's really this series, because this was epic. I think it's good for basketball to have the rivalries. And I remember after that championship, you said you feel like the best player in the league. And did you feel that way? Were you like, was that just like talking shit? Did you really think like, I feel like I can play with anybody? Was your confidence just like up here?
Man, come on, if you just come off a playoff series where you go toe-to-toe with LeBron, you beat the bad boys Pistons, and you go toe-to-toe with Kobe. How you supposed to feel? How you supposed to feel after
I agree.
LeBron, Kobe, all-time defense? I mean, how you supposed to feel? Like, I just beat up the Hawk and Thor in 1 year. What I'm supposed to feel like?
The way you feel.
For sure.
I'm saying, so I'm like, when people say like, what is he talking about, man?
He just speaks truth. That's why they call him the truth.
Come on.
And his game's the truth. Hey, we got a picture of Red Auerbach up here.
You got my man Red up there?
Yeah, you were around him, right? Early in your career?
Yeah, I got to be picturing Red, man. Cool guy. You know how we always knew Red was in the building?
Cigar smoke.
And I sit in the locker room, I put my socks on, I'm getting ready to warm up. And you start smelling a cigar. And I was like, okay, Red is here. He was the only one in the NBA that was allowed to smoke a cigar indoors.
You watching that Showtime show? Or the have you seen that at all?
I haven't watched it yet, but I've been hearing about it. You been watching it?
It's pretty funny.
It's fun.
You'll probably love it because it's that's your generation shit.
Yeah. I want to check it out. No, I've been waiting for it to end so I could just kind of like binge watch it. But I heard there's some good stuff in there.
Yeah,
I heard it's entertaining.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining.
Some liberties are taken. I think they do Jerry West a little dirty. But then Jerry West saying he'll take this to the Supreme Court is exactly what Jerry West in that show would have done. So he's got to not say that. But they do Jerry West a little dirty in the show. Jerry's a legend. You can't do him dirty like that. But yeah, it's worth a watch.
Yeah, I got to check that out.
So Red Auerbach, any other early Celtics memories? Because I mean, I remember those early days. I loved watching you guys with Antoine Walker and Kenny Anderson. Those were fun teams. Any memories of those teams?
Oh man, I loved playing with that team. Antoine, man. People forget that me and him used to shoot threes like they shoot now. It was like Twan used to shoot 10 threes a game, and people was like criticizing him for it. But I'm like, that's the norm now.
Well, that's what the big men are doing now.
And my favorite quote from Antoine was like, when they asked him, why do you shoot so many 3-pointers? You know what he said?
What?
Because they don't have 4-pointers.
After you guys go beat these dudes up and beat LA, Boston, LA, how was the celebration?
Oh,
how was
man.
the parade?
The parade was lit. I remember where was we at? Man, we were having drinks and the champagne, and I remember getting on the tugboat and we riding around the city, and I had a cigar, and I don't think I was smoking cigars at the time. And I just remember like I got a hairbrush and I went back into the tugboat and threw up like in the parade. Like it was crazy, but that was a time right there, man. I mean, it's nothing like going around the city. You see people hanging out the windows,
street lamps.
Oh man!
So you guys pretty much revolutionized. You guys are the original super team.
Well, it's arguable that's you guys are the reason LeBron did it, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, we started something crazy, and then as you see after that, LeBron, then you see the Golden State Warriors. They took it to the next level with super teams. They went super team on everybody. Yeah, we started a trend, but I think now the balance of power is back. But we started a trend at the time that it was like, wow, well, what did we create in the NBA? What did we do? But it was fun. It was fun. When they favorite players played together, what would that look like? And I'm happy that I had a chance to play with two all-time greats.
You guys are kind of like social media. You guys invented something. Everyone's like, oh, this is great. We get to interact with friends from 20 years ago. And then also we give people that have an opinion. Everyone gets an opinion now. And everyone's going to hate on you. And everyone, you know what I mean? So you guys are basically...
you guys didn't get the hate for, I think, other reasons. I think, like, you guys had all kind of carried franchises that weren't winning on your own. And I think people wanted...
But the thing is, the way we came together was different. It was through trade.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, I'm a free agent. I'm going to go play over there. But then let's create our own. Ours kind of like had to be manufactured. It had to be organically done. It was just like everybody else was just like put together. They had the pieces and they just put together and went over here.
Oh, they were giving KG no help in Minnesota at all. I mean, watching him play at that intensity on a team where they just weren't giving him weapons was tough to watch,
Yeah. How would you guys been nowadays?
What, who, me and Kevin?
How would this team do in this generation?
Oh, man, we have crushed this era. Come on, man. We got the shooting. We got indoor. We got inside game, outside game. My game perfect with this era. So does Kevin's, and so does Ray.
Yeah. I'm watching Ray do some of these shots. he didn't shoot the volume of threes that you see guys shooting now. Neither did you. It was a different game, but like if you guys were jacking threes, I totally agree. I think this team would be so good in the modern NBA.
We would adjust with this era because we always, Ray was really good 3-point shooters because by the time when I ended my career, I was fourth all time in 3-pointers made, which a lot of people didn't know. And Ray was first. So if you want to talk about playing in this era, we would have did just fine.
You could. I just always remember. I would always go to the games and see Paul playing, sit on the court, and he'd always just have the nastiest, grimy finishes, guy on him and one them. Then he'd start talking that shit. Give a one of these to the crowd. Crowd's going pee. Like it was just.
You know what I don't see? I don't see the emotion from the players like that no more, man. I don't see it. I like when when guys getting the crowd into it. The crowd feel that. They feed off of that.
Everyone's friends now.
John Morant seems like he's bringing some of that energy back. He plays with a lot of energy, I think. Who are guys that you're watching now who you're like, oh, I like that dude a lot. He would have been great in my era. Who are dudes like that?
Man, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he is straight mean. The way he dunk on people when he flexes muscles and just be looking with that growl, you be like, whoa, hold on, big fella. He's mean. He can play in the air.
He's a monster, too, with that Euro step.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Anyone else?
Let me see. I'm going to say, of course, LeBron. He can play in any era. When tough. But like that intensity, we talk about the intensity. Think about young Westbrook. Him, young with Oklahoma City, Westbrook.
Yeah.
That was different.
How do you feel about how disrespected he got this year? I feel like he was made the scapegoat for Los Angeles. I don't think it was really fair.
Yeah, I don't think they looking for a scapegoat, but there's a lot of people that's to blame for this. But at the end of the day, Westbrook is an all-time great player. He's going to be remembered. Top 75. And so, LA always looking to point they had to always got to point the finger at somebody. So he was the scapegoat.
Exactly.
Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining us, man. Anything we missed about this game before we wrap up? Anything about this series that you want to add before we go?
And last confirmation, it was not a shit, guys.
It was not a shit.
All you fucking people in here, everyone in this. We have like a little stand of people, and they're always here talking about like, hey, I think he shit his pants. So I'm like, nah, dude, he would never shit his pants. It's Paul Pierce, man.
Everybody just mad that we beat they, favorite team. That's all. Boston, we one of the more hated sports cities anyway because we win so much. So, that's just what it's gonna be. And I'm cool with that.
Everyone can't be winners.
Yeah, come on now.
The Knicks will rise again.
Not in our lifetime, buddy. Not in our lifetime.
Paul, I gotta hit you up when I get out there. I'll be out there soon. We gotta get up. We always say it. Can we fucking do this now or what?
Have some dinner, some drinks, hang out.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much, Paul.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for doing this.
Always. Love.
Always. Hit me up if you ever need anything.
All right, my boy.
All right, bro.
Peace.
Wow. Paul Pierce.
Legend.
No filter there.
He's awesome. The truth.
I knew it was going to be a great interview when he rolled up with a hookah.
The hookah is probably why we failed on the prop bets, because we were probably distracted by the swag to come on here poolside with chocolate mint hookah. I mean,
chocolate mint. More of a grape mint hookah myself.
Grape mint.
Grape mint. I don't know why, but when you go like, I got some friends and they're from like Europe, and people from Europe love hookah.
Yeah.
Or like Israel, a lot of hookah, like hookers. Are there hookers? Is that what you call them?
You're into hookers?
Yeah. No, yeah, dude. But they always mix a fruit with mint. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good, not going to lie.
It takes me back to when I had a fake ID, but even pre-fake ID, that was like the place that wouldn't card you to get booze.
Yeah.
Hookah's classic. That's like a power move to have it in your house.
I got a couple of hookahs.
You have hookah at home?
Yeah. I had a friend we hookah'd one time, and they sent me a hookah. It's a badass hookah too. It's just a fun thing to have around. Like, to socialize with.
Yeah.
People love it. You get your own little hose. Everyone has their little cap. So we keep it COVID friendly. You get to mix up different like flavors.
You try to explain how you got COVID to your wife. It was from a hookah. I got it from a hookah. What was that? We failed to get Paul to mention Brian Scalabrine at all. That was on us.
Did we get the Ain't That the Truth, Jack?
I think we ended up under. We only had 2.5 or 2.
Yeah. We only had 2.
Yeah.
That's weak.
Who was this the beginning of the super team era? I'd say absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what started it.
Danny Ainge.
In the NBA. Danny Ainge, you know, whatever you think of him, he was a good GM for Boston.
I like Danny Ainge. I got to hang around him a little bit when I was with the Celtics for a while. You could just tell he's a competitive guy.
Yeah.
He's an old school guy that like probably he had to go the long road, the hard. He was just always like a tough. You could just tell whenever he was talking to guys, he was competitive. You know.
Do you remember anything he said to you?
He was always kind of, you know, trying to feel me out on how we did things in New England. You know, and sometimes, you know, we wouldn't see eye to eye on something, and he would, you know, you could see that he was like competing while we were talking about it. I'm like, oh, dude, well, thank you for letting me be here. But that's just kind of guy he is. He's a competitor.
Yeah.
You get that with some of these old school guys.
And a winner. He was a winner from his playing days. Cool to get to do it with your old franchise. I will say, we didn't mention this, but getting Garnett for what he shipped out, that was a little gift from his old teammate Kevin McHale, who was the GM in Minnesota. That was that was insane that they got Kevin Garnett for like Al Jefferson and some moving parts, you know, but
hey,
it worked.
You got to keep those relationships tight.
He kept them tight, but
favor is owed.
It was he owes him a favor. I don't know what it is, but this was Kobe's revenge era. Following this series, the Lakers going to win the 2009 and 10 finals. This is the Kobe Gasol partnership. This is that started, and you know, so I think the Lakers won the following year against Orlando, and then they beat the Celtics. So there was that rivalry popped off again.
So I thought I was at the winning one. Actually, I was at the losing one.
Damn.
So maybe I cursed them.
No, dude. No, it was
probably won't be allowed back over at the Garden.
They won one. As long as you win one, the experiment works, I think. This was one of some many sports bromances, obviously KG and Pierce, Kobe Gasol, Julian and Tom Brady.
We got a bromance, we do. But it's, you know, relationships have their up and downs. You know, I don't know if we're at a high right now. He's playing still, I'm not. I'm podcasting. You're my new bromance.
Dude, I'm honored. I'm gonna make
Coach
it count,
Pop
dude.
and Tim Duncan.
Yeah, that was a bromance for sure. Coach Pop's a legend. Unsung hero KG had 24 in game one, largely just a monster in the final. You know, KG is the defensive anchor.
Just tenacity.
Yeah,
he just brings an attitude that not on my court. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude,
like,
he was a beast.
We were talking about, he's one of those guys that like visualizes shit, like to type him up. Like he'll take some shit from back in the past that happened to him, and he'll explain it to himself right before a play or a game. You'd see him over there hitting the posts and stuff. You remember?
That's what the greats do. They're like, this guy fucked my mom.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mess him up.
Remember what was that movie? The Waterboy. Remember?
Yes.
Waterboy, but it also, like, what was another one?
Water
the program
sucks. It really, really sucks. That's how you psych yourself up.
You got to psych up.
Yeah.
You got to psych up.
Yeah. The way you talk about Ray Lewis and his motivational speeches, I kind of see that in KG. Like
100%. Straight war dance guy. But his war dance, like, he's just fierce. He's a teammate you want. He's like that, you know, like, we always had, like, the Patriots had like the Willie McGinnis, the tough guy that kind of keeps things in order after hearing that story about, you know, the rookie taking his shoes. Like, that ain't happening.
No, that was amazing.
I got some stories. We'll get McGinnis on here, and we'll get some real good stories out of him.
Oh, great.
We'll save that for the future about him regulating the locker room. But that's definitely what KD did.
Paul Pierce's underwear. I mean, what he could do is just sell an underwear with skid marks on it and make so much money.
I'd buy him.
I'd sniff him, dude.
Now, would it be like a perfectly like symmetrical like skid mark, or would it be like it's a real skid mark?
You take a Baby Ruth, you leave it out for an hour in the sun, you smear it. You're making money on eBay. Some Boston lunatic is buying this.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And here's the thing: donate the proceeds to St. Jude's or something, and that way you're a hero. No one's talking about Paul Pierce pooping his pants. Or like, this guy,
Mass General. We're Mass General.
Is an amazing guy.
Amazing. Hey, poop and all. He didn't poop it though. He wants to lay that out there.
He did not poop. So
and we did some forensic looking at this.
Yes,
I did. I looked at every angle. Like I said,
we brought in experts. We spent thousands of dollars trying to get to the bottom of this, and we have. He did not poop. Right,
Jack? Didn't you do an intense study on this?
No poop found in the undies.
No poop found in the undies when it comes to Jack. You know, we did talk about this picture. Sam, can you? Or here we go, Kyler. We got this picture. The infamous,
classic. Amazing.
The infamous night. Me, Ray, or me, Paul, and Dola. We'll leave it at that.
Classic. We got to get that on the wall.
We got to put it. We'll hang it up.
That looks like the start to like a Hangover movie right there.
Yeah, it was start to.
That looks amazing.
Waking up to about 500 text messages from people you don't always want to hear from.
True.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Not good, but it was good. It's learning experience. You gotta wear non-friction pants if you're gonna do a hood slide, right? Non-friction pants. You can't have jeans. I need some polyester or something.
Let's get someone sending some polyester to the Games with Names studio so Julian can do the classic, the way Jackie Chan does in the Rush Hour movies. He just jumps over the. Oh, he makes it look badass.
You know he does all his stunts too.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't think he's known for acting.
I think his acting's amazing. I love Jackie Chan.
He's a good actor, but he's like great. Yeah, he's like, that's what he's known for. He's got to do his stunts. He's amazing at you ever see like the old Police Story movies? They're insane.
Yeah. Didn't they say on one of Jackie Chan got beat up by Bruce Lee?
What?
Yeah, on like is there something on that, or he may have been an extra on a Bruce Lee movie.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think it's fully true.
Wow.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
Jack, did we forget anything?
Jules, you corrected yourself. You were at the 2010 finals. And the KG trade, Al Jefferson, Ryan Gomes, Theo Ratliff, Sebastian Telfair, and 2 first-round picks in 2009.
That's nothing, though.
Two first-round picks?
But you got KG. That guy
They mortgaged the future. That's a fair trade.
I don't think. I mean, KG he's a franchise game changer.
Who did they get with those first picks?
That's a good question.
Let me take a look.
That will explain. That'll really tell the tale. But I don't think
Starberry.
No, that was way before.
I know, but you remember that team?
Starberry was pissed that KG got paid and wanted out.
Yeah,
he got the fattest contract in the NBA.
They were such a tandem.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were awesome together.
They were on the Hoop It Up game together.
Yeah, they were. They went back.
No, or what was that? NBA Jams.
Ooh, that's a good NBA Jam team.
Yeah, it was him and I think it was him and Strawberry.
You need someone quick and someone who can block shots. You got those are the two right there.
But wasn't it also Penny and Shaq? I think.
Was it?
I think because those were old games.
Those were fucking classic.
Like 90s.
I was always a Starks and Ewing guy. Those are my two.
I was always a created player guy.
Were you?
Yeah, I would do created player, and I'd make my guy with a wolf head, and I'd have my number. I would have 21 at the time when I was a kid because I loved Deion Sanders, and I'd always name my guy J-Dog. And that's only because my brother used to call his guy J-Dog, and I always thought it was pretty cool.
J-Dog's. I'm gonna start calling you J-Dog, dude.
Remember that was like a thing in the 90s. Like you just the letter and dog.
It worked. Looks like they picked Ricky Rubio and Johnny Flynn.
Ricky Rubio.
Same draft, right?
Could have had Steph.
Yeah, well,
Who
Ricky
went
Rubio
7.
had some good years. He's still pretty good. But Johnny Flynn, Syracuse guy, I remember that. He had a high. They took him over Steph Curry, if I remember correctly.
That's correct.
Not a good pick.
Yeah, but
No disrespect to Johnny Flynn, terrific college player. Steph Curry's top 20 all time. You know,
could be lower.
Could be lower. I mean, when it's all said and done, he will be lower. But
I mean, he's revolutionized the game.
He's fucking amazing. Do you know Steph at all?
We've met a couple times at the ESPYs.
Yeah.
He's just a great guy.
He's amazing.
He does it right. You know, he's great man on, great man off, family man.
Legend.
He's like a Matthew Slater type.
Yeah.
Just a great dude.
Yeah, dude.
You can't not root for those guys.
It's
hard
tough.
not to.
I tend to go for the underdog in the NBA, and they just are always, the pick. They're always they're so good.
I get that,
but it's like you guys. I mean, when you sustain greatness, it's like the Patriots. It's hard to root for a team that's just a well-oiled machine like they are, and it's similar. You know.
Yeah, it is. But it's just when you see the individual accolades, because I was a Warriors fan growing up my whole life.
True.
I like the Bulls too, because we weren't really that good early 90s. We had some good teams and fun teams.
Run TMC, you had the Tim Hardaway, Sprewell, Mullen teams. Those were pretty crazy.
Those were fun.
Yeah.
But when they became super duper team.
Yeah.
That's what did Ray call him? He said they were, or Paul. I keep on calling him. We talked about Ray Lewis, and we're gonna have to cut some of that.
Warriors Celtics finals. Who do you root for?
I gotta go Celtics right
now.
Yeah, right now. Just because once they went super duper team, I moved to Boston, and once you're in that town, you're always rooting for everyone. You're rooting for the Sox, you're rooting for the Bruins. You want to see the city do well.
Yeah.
And that was like I experienced basketball. I didn't go to like Warriors games growing up. It was a little far. We were really football, baseball guys, family. I started going to Celtics games. Like I started going to basketball games a lot when I went to Boston. So that's when I kind of learned to like love a team or like a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
you root for the guys, and then they let me in. And they've been so gracious to me as an organization. Shout out to my girl Mackenzie. She's always hooking me up with awesome tickets. Like, they let me in when I was suspended, and let me use their facility. So I'm a Celtics guy.
Do you ever sit next to like any Boston legends at those games? A little Wahlberg, a little Damon, Casey Affleck. What do we got?
Nah, I usually go with teammates. You go with teammates. It's like a chemistry thing. It's a bondage. You got to do some stuff.
Bondage.
Yeah, bondage.
It's like BDSM.
Yeah, it's like some SM. We do that. No.
What? I remember I was at a Knicks game once with my friend Anthony DeVito, and we're sitting behind Tracy Morgan, and it was Knicks Celtics, and for whatever reason, Michael Beasley for the Knicks just went off. He had the game of his life for the Knicks. He had like 38. The Knicks won. And every time Michael Beasley scored, Tracy Morgan would just turn behind to us and go, "Real animals eat meat." And we were like, hell yeah, dude. Just hyping us up. Tracy Morgan, don't know what he means. Because I think there are, there's omnivores out there. But it was, I was all in. I loved it.
New thing. Modern day athlete. Going plant-based.
That isn't. Would you have ever done that or no? You're too much of a foodie.
I'm a foodie, but when I was playing, I would limit, like, I would eat all like the plant-based stuff, and I would just add protein to it. But I like the taste of that earthy taste.
Oh, I love it, dude.
And it does give you good energy.
Love it.
But I think we had 2 vegans on our team when I was there.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Tom's got that particular diet though.
Yeah, but he still eats meat.
Yeah.
I think, or fish or chicken. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he is.
Anything else we left out, Jack?
Yeah, real quick, we got Phil Jackson. We talked about his time in the Knicks front office. He ended up winning. He actually won in 70 and 73 as a player, the Paul Pierce KG trade, to Brooklyn. Ultimately ended up getting the Celtics, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Kobe Bryant, we talked about his languages, spoke Italian, Spanish, English, and a little bit of Mandarin.
Mandarin.
Jesus. And then other than that, I think we're pretty good.
Kobe was an incredible guy.
He was like a Renaissance man.
He was.
And you felt that when he spoke.
Yeah.
Like when he spoke to our team, when I told us about that. We talked about that earlier. But that's Mandarin. I'm more of a Cantonese guy. Remember Wayne's World? Zang. Excellent. His girlfriend was Cantonese, right? Or Cantonese?
Yes.
I always remember Zang was excellent because he'd always go, excellent.
Wayne's World is so good.
Oh.
Such a classic. Holds up. Just rewatch it.
I did. I watched it recently.
Damn. Tia Carrera was at the Comedy Cellar once, and I got a picture with her. I had a horrible haircut, but still got the pic.
Didn't happen if you didn't get the pic.
She was so 90s. All these classics, True Lies we talked about before. I mean, she's in some banger 90s movies.
Man, I always wanted a licorice.
Oh, the dispenser?
Dispenser.
It's badass.
In the Garthmobile. Let's score this thing. Or let's name the game.
It's the wheelchair game, I think. We can't call it the poop game now that we've done all this detective work. I think we got to go wheelchair game.
It's got to be wheelchair game.
The poop game. That sounds like a really bad porn genre. The poop game?
What's your porn genre?
Mine? Probably MILF. How about you?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't
it's
know?
It's like cereal.
Cereal?
Sometimes you want Cocoa Puffs. Sometimes you want Fruity Pebbles. Star Power.
And either way, no matter what, it's bad for you, is the point we're making here.
Let's score it.
Stakes.
Let's score it.
NBA Finals. It's game one, though, so I think, you can't go... are we doing the whole series or are we doing game one?
Game one.
Game one. So I think stakes are like, you're at home, so the stakes are high, but it's just game one. It's not the Super Bowl where it's one game.
This is 7. 7. This is like first quarter of a game.
Yeah.
And
Star power is high as hell, I go.
This is
like a 9.5, because you got Kobe, Gasol. There's at least 5 Hall of Famers in this game. Right?
Yeah. Could be.
Not to mention Phil, so that's 6. Is Doc Rivers in the Hall of Fame as a coach, maybe? No, probably not.
Borderline.
But he's still a star.
9.5. It definitely had some star power. I mean,
Yeah.
you got Kobe in there.
Kobe's a star, yeah.
Gameplay.
It was a good game.
Back and forth.
Back and forth. They were down when Pierce came in, the energy. I mean, you got to go at least 8.5, I think, right?
Yeah.
Lower? You're going lower? All right. I mean, maybe
8?
8? Yeah, let's go 8. Name.
The wheelchair game.
I mean, geez, how mad are the handicapped Olympics for us right now? Because they do this all the time, I've played with some of those handicapped basketball guys, and they're really good.
Dude, it's brutal.
They're really good.
But those guys are tough, man. They're banging and stuff.
Oh my God, it's brutal, and they can shoot with running start. It's incredible.
Their strength is so impressive of upper body and it's fucking.
It's insane how shredded they are, dude.
It's a rough game.
Yeah.
When they're up in there.
So name what do you go 8? What were you saying?
Para-athletes.
Para-athletes. It's amazing. It really is. And inspiring. So name is
we got to dock it a little because we're team handicap.
Yeah. 7
Olympics. Yeah, we'll go 7. What's that give us a grand total?
Still a pretty good score here.
I mean, we're in 7.8.
7.8, 7.5. Yeah, it's pretty good.
C plus.
Yeah.
7.9.
Yeah.
Yeah. C plus. It's a good game.
Good game. Great.
But
interview.
it wasn't like a game set. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean the theatrics.
We got to reserve the highest scores possible.
The theatrics were there for sure. I mean,
in Boston, LA, you got to give the stakes are big because those two franchises hate each other. But I think we scored it right.
I think we definitely did. Well, that's all for this episode of Games with Names presented by WynnBET. Thank you so much for listening again. Thank you to all our sponsors. And guys, remember, you got to follow us at Games with Names on all social platforms, social media, Snapface, as Bill would call it, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it is, we are there. I'm Julian Edelman.
I'm Sam Morril. Thanks for listening, guys.